Today I'm going to explain conceptual questions from your exercise of textbook. Question: for an answer to be complete, the units need to be specified. Why? Answer: it is important for us to specify both the magnitude and the unit to successfully represent the value of a physical quantity, as well as individually either one is meaningless and incomplete. We have already discussed units in previous lecture with different examples, and now you know that for representing a physical quantity we need units. 7 is magnitude and centimeter is unit. So with magnitude 7, this unit centimeter defines the physical quantity, that is length. Question: how many radians account for circumference of a circle? How many steradians account for circumference of a sphere? For more understanding of supplementary angles, you can listen to the previous lectures. For circle, 2 pi radians is equals to 360 degree, and for a sphere, 4 pi steradians account for circumference of a sphere. Question: what is least count error? How can least count error be reduced? Answer: it is an instrumental or random error or related with the precision, limit or resolution of a measuring instrument. The smallest deviation on the scale of a measuring instrument is called its least count, as measuring instrument may give different least counts and different measurements. Reduction of least count error. Instruments of higher precision can reduce the least count error. Question: why including more digits in answers does not make it more accurate? Answer: the precision of the measurement is reflected in how the value is written. Writing a result with more digits implies that a higher precision was achieved. The number of significant digits increase as the measured value gets more precise and the range of uncertainty gets smaller. As we discussed in previous lectures, by decreasing the least count with smaller least count, we achieve high precision, and in our result we get more digits. Hence, number of digits are increased, but it does not make it more accurate, because accuracy of a measured value refers to how close a measurement is to the correct value. For better understanding of precision and accuracy, listen to the previous lecture. Question: if two quantities have different dimensions, is it possible to multiply and or divide? Can we add or subtract them? Answer: if A and B are two different quantities, then A into B is correct option. A divided by B is correct option. But A plus B is incorrect option and A minus B is incorrect option. Let's understand it by the help of this example. For instance, F is force and V is velocity. F and V are different quantities, so their addition or subtraction is invalid. We cannot add F plus V or we cannot subtract F minus V. It is invalid. But F into V is equals to power. It's valid. Force into velocity gives power. And force divided by velocity is equals to mass divided by time is valid, as force is equals to mass into rate of change of velocity. So division or multiplication is valid. Hence, two physical quantities A and B have different dimensions, multiplication and division are possible for these quantities? Question. The human pulse and the swing of a pendulum are possible time units. Why are they not often used? Answer. For swing of a pendulum, it cannot be used due to several reasons such as length of pendulum may change due to change in temperature. It varies with g and g varies with altitude. Frictional force of air may affect the time period. For human pulse, it cannot be used because it is also affected by various factors such as human pulse is different while standing, sitting, and running. Question. If an equation is dimensionally correct, is that equation a right equation? Answer. If an equation is dimensionally correct, it does not mean that the equation must be true. Dimensional analysis is a technique used to check whether a relationship is correct or not. For example, formula of kinetic energy is equals to half mv square in equation number 1, but in equation number 2, formula of kinetic energy is given as kinetic energy is equals to mv square. Dimension of both the equations are similar. We know that from equation number 2, kinetic energy is equals to mv square is incorrect formula. It is incorrect relation, but its dimension is similar to the dimension of equation number 1. So from equation 1 and 2, it is clear that if an equation is dimensionally correct, it does not mean that the equation must be true. Question. A circular pizza into three equal parts. One piece of pizza is taken out. Estimate the degree measure of the single piece of pizza and convert the measure into radians. What is the radian measure of the angle of the remaining part of pizza? Here in this figure you can see a pizza into three equal parts. We can divide 360 degree by 3 to get angle of single piece of pizza in degree. That is 360 divided by 3 is equals to 120 degree. As we know that 2 pi radians is equals to 360 degree, or 360 degree is equals to 6.284. By using equation number 1, we can get 1 degree is equals to 2 pi divided by 360 degree. By multiplying 120 on both sides, we get 120 degrees equals to 2 pi into 120 degree divided by 360 degree into radians. By doing calculation, we get 120 degree is equals to 2.09466 radians. That is measure of the single piece of pizza in radians. So this single piece of pizza is having 120 degree angle, that is equals to 2.09466 radians. For calculating the radian measure of the angle of the remaining parts of pizza, we can use equation number 2. 360 degrees equals to 6.284 radians. We can subtract 120 degree from 360 degree and 2.09466 radians from 6.284, and we get 4.19 radians, that is radian measure of the angle of the remaining part of pizza. So single piece of pizza is 2.09466 radians, and question. Determine the area of a rectangular sheet with length 1.50 plus minus 0.02 meter and width 0.20 plus minus 0.01 meter. Calculate the area A plus minus delta A. Here A is measured value of area and plus minus delta A is absolute uncertainty in area data. As in question, length and width of rectangular sheet are given. L is equals to 1.50 plus minus 0.02 meter. Here 1.50 is measured value of length and plus minus 0.02 is absolute uncertainty in length, and W is equals to 0.20 plus minus 0.01 meter. Here 0.20 is measured value of width of rectangular sheet and plus minus 0.01 is absolute uncertainty in width. We have to calculate area and uncertainty in area. These types of problems we have already discussed in previous lectures and you have idea of it. Solution. Calculation of area. Area is equal to length into width. Putting the value of length and width, we get A is equals to 1.50 into 0.02 and area is equal to 0.3 meter square. Now we can calculate the percentage uncertainty in length and percentage uncertainty in width. As product of length and width give area, and I told you in previous lecture that in this type of conditions we can calculate the percentage uncertainty in area by adding the percentage uncertainty in length with percentage uncertainty in width. So we need to calculate the percentage uncertainty in length and percentage uncertainty in width. So percentage uncertainty in length is equals to least count or absolute uncertainty delta L divided by measured value in length L multiplied by 100%. Putting the value of delta L and L, we get 1%, and percentage uncertainty in length is equals to 1%. Percentage uncertainty in width is equals to delta W divided by W multiplied by 100%. Putting the values of delta W and W, we get 5% after calculation. Now we can add percentage uncertainty in length and percentage uncertainty in width to get the total percentage uncertainty in area. By putting values, we get 1% plus 5%, that is equals to 6%. Hence, total percentage uncertainty in area is equals to 6%. Now we can calculate the absolute uncertainty in area. Delta A is equals to total percentage uncertainty in area divided by 100 multiplied by measured value in area. Putting values, we get delta A is equals to 6 divided by 100 multiplied by 0.3. By solving, we get delta A is equals to plus minus 0.018 meter square. Here least number of significant figures is 1, so our answer should be up to one significant figure. So by rounding off, we get delta A is equal to plus minus 0.02 meter square, and we can write the area of rectangular plate is equals to A is equals to 0.3 plus minus 0.02 meter square. Here 0.3 is measured value in area and plus minus 0.02 is absolute uncertainty in area. Question. The length of pendulum is 1.5 plus minus 0.01 meter and the acceleration due to gravity is taken into account as 9.8 plus minus 0.1 meter per second square. Calculate the time period of pendulum with uncertainty in it. From question, we know that length is equals to 1.5 plus minus 0.01 meter and acceleration due to gravity is equals to 9.8 plus minus 0.1 meter per second square. We need to calculate the time period of pendulum with uncertainty in it. For calculating the time period of simple pendulum, we need to calculate the percentage uncertainty in time period, and for that we will calculate the percentage uncertainty in length and percentage uncertainty in G. Percentage uncertainty in length is equals to delta L divided by L multiplied by 100%. Putting the values we get 0.66%. Percentage uncertainty in G is equals to delta G divided by G multiplied by 100%. By putting the values and solving, we get percentage uncertainty in G is equals to 1.020%. Now calculating the time period from formula T is equals to 2 pi under root L divided by G. By putting the values of L and G in this formula, we get time period T is equals to 2.5 seconds. This is the measured value of time period. As this formula of time period contains power factor 1 divided by 2, so for calculating percentage uncertainty in time period T, we can add percentage uncertainty in length and percentage uncertainty in G, and answer will be divided by 2 because we have formula for power factor. Percentage uncertainty in T is equals to 1 upon 2 into percentage uncertainty in length plus percentage uncertainty in G. By putting the values of percentage uncertainty in G and percentage uncertainty in L, and after solving we get percentage uncertainty in T is equals to 0.84%. Hence percentage uncertainty in T is equals to plus minus 0.8% after rounding off. And we can write time period of the pendulum with percentage uncertainty in it. T plus minus percentage uncertainty in time period is equals to 2.5 plus minus 0.8% seconds. Here 2.5 is measured value in time period and plus minus 0.8% is percentage uncertainty in time period of simple pendulum. Question. Calculate the answer up to appropriate numbers of significant figures. In part A, we have 246.24 plus 238.278 plus 98.3. After adding these, we get 582.818, and by rounding off this number, we get 582.8. Here we have applied the rule of rounding off numbers. According to that rule, in addition or subtraction, answer should be up to least decimal places according to given data. In our question, term with least decimal places is 98.3. So our answer is rounded off up to one decimal place. Part D. We have 112 into 0.456 divided by 3.2 into 120. Solution. By solving in numerator we get 51.072 and in denominator we get 384. By dividing both values we get 0.133, and after rounding off this number we get 0.13. Here we have applied the rule of rounding off numbers. According to that rule, in multiplication or division, significant figures in the answers should be equal to least number of significant figures in the data. In our question, term with least number of significant figures is 3.2. So our answer is also containing two number of significant figures after rounding off.